friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. We are going to talk about my blushes. I'm going to show you my blush collection and we're going to declutter some things. I feel like we're maybe about halfway through this series at this point. I'm trying to just pre-film, bust through it. It's still October as you're seeing this, so there are still some pumpkins in my background, but we're probably getting close to Thanksgiving, if not past Thanksgiving at this point. So hello from the past. I hope November's gone well. We will see. Today I'm going to be going over my powder blushes and cream blushes. My blush palettes I already included in my bronzer and face palette video, which should have gone up before this one. So if you want to see my blush palettes, go check out that video. We have a lot of blushes to talk about. I have 45 total. 15 are creams, 30 are pressed powders, and I have a lot. I have too many, and I really need to desperately go through it. I'm hoping to condense this by a good amount and just narrow it down to my tried and true favorites. Before we hop into it, I did film this look, of course. It's part of my 2 looks 1 palette with the Black Moon Cosmetics Urban Myth palette. That should already be up on my channel by the time this video goes up. My plugs are from the brand Love Kills Boutique, and this choker was a gift from a subscriber. A couple things before we hop into it as usual. Please don't get offended if I declutter your favorite blush. I'm very glad that it's your favorite. It just might not be mine. We all have different preferences and that's okay. Also, please don't ask me to send you anything. I'm very weird about giving used makeup to people I don't know. I will give dibs to my family and friends and then maybe donate things that are gently used. And last, don't feel pressured to declutter your collection if that's not what you need in your life. It's just what I need in mine. I know sometimes these videos can make you feel like you need to go through yours, but if you don't feel like you need to, then don't. Keep what you have if you're enjoying keeping them around. Anyways, with all that being said, let's just hop into it and declutter some blush. I figured we would start with creams first because I do have less of those than powders. Again, I have 15 creams. I'm hoping to maybe declutter 5 of them, make it closer to 10, which is still excessive, but I'm hoping to declutter about that much. Let's go over these 3 first. These are my Glossier Cloud Paints. I'm 100% keeping these. I love them with my whole heart. Maybe I'll do some swatches in this video because I feel like blush can be harder to tell what's going on. This one is Dawn. It's a really pretty, vibrant corally orange. It's so cute, especially in the summer. It's one of my favorite summer blushes. This one is Puff. It's like a light baby pink kind of color. It's super, super cute. And this one is Beam. This was actually my first cream blush ever, probably close to 2 years ago. It's a really soft peachy color. I love this one. I love this blush formula. I think it's beautiful and it lasts forever. Like I said, I've had this one for a couple years. I don't use it every day, obviously, because I have other things, but I'm only just now getting to the very bottom. I feel like I've used this a million times. So these are definitely staying in my collection. I love these cloud paints. 2 more that I'm keeping are the Milani Cheek Kiss blushes. These are very similar to the Glossier ones. I feel like the Glossier ones are a little bit more of a gel consistency. These ones are a little bit thicker, but they're still beautiful. This one is called Rose Romance. It's kind of just like a warm, rosy, pinky kind of color right there. And this one is Nude Flush. I love this one. It's a really pretty, just kind of neutral, almost brown toned kind of color. It's super, super cute. I love that one as well. These ones I feel like are a little more pigmented than the Glossier ones as well. A little goes a very long way. I don't feel like it shears out quite as much as the Glossier ones do, but either way, I still love them. I think they're beautiful. I wouldn't mind having more shades, but I don't need more shades. Let's be real. This next one I am decluttering. This is from the brand Kaleidos Cosmetics, not to be confused with the brand Kaleidos Makeup. This is a different brand. This is an illuminating gel. I keep this one with my cream blushes because this one's personally too dark to be a highlight for me. So I use this one more as a glowy blush, and it's really cute. It's like a very golden, corally kind of situation, but I just haven't been reaching for it. It's not my favorite thing to use on my cheeks for highlight or for blush, if I'm being honest. It's not bad, I just have other things I prefer, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass this one along to a friend. Next is this blush serum. I guess it's called the Hydrate. I would describe it as kind of a serum from the brand Clove and Hollow. This is in the shade Georgia. I am gonna declutter this one as well. I do like the color, I just don't love the applicator. I don't like that it's kind of this nail polish brush. I feel like if it was in maybe a jar or maybe a stick component or just really anything but this, maybe I would have kept it around, but I don't like pulling this out. It's also not my favorite formula out of all of my cream blushes. I don't have many negatives to say about it. It's just not my favorite, so I'm gonna pass it along. No sense in hanging on to it if it's not a favorite. Next is my Milk Makeup Swish Cheek Stick. Well, I guess it's a lip and cheek stick, but I personally use it as a cheek stick. It's a really cute kind of frosty pink color. As much as I want to keep this because I like the formula of this stick, it's just not my personal favorite blush color. I have worn it plenty of times and it's cute, but it's just not my favorite, and especially now I feel like I'm very much evolving into a peachy, warmer, terracotta kind of zone. That's been my favorite this whole year. So I'm very unlikely to reach for this, so I think I'm going to pass this one along to a friend as well who might get more use out of it than me. It is a beautiful formula though. I wouldn't mind picking that formula up in a different shade down the road, especially if I can get it in a mini, because these big sticks last a million years. You'll never go through one. This next one is the Illamasqua Color Veil Blusher in the shade, what are you called? Tonic? This one I'm undecided if I want to keep or not. I actually want to swatch this next to the other ones because if it's super similar to something I'm keeping, then I might pass it along. I feel like it's different enough. I was going to say it's kind of similar to Beam and Puff, but not really. I feel like it's more neutral than that. It's kind of like a neutral peach. I do like the formula. I personally just stick my beauty sponge directly in the component. Overall, I like this, so I'm going to keep this one. I feel like it's different and unique, and it's a color I don't have, so I'm going to keep that one. Okay, last for cream blushes, I have 6 of the ColourPop blush sticks, and definitely not keeping all of these. Honestly, I kind of have it divided, 3 that I want to keep and 3 that I want to pass along, so let's just swatch and talk about these. I love the blush sticks. I think they're fantastic. I personally apply it directly to my beauty sponge. With all of these, pretty much, I apply directly to my beauty sponge and then pounce it on the cheek. This one is called, I think, Splash. Yes. It's a really pretty, just warm pink color, very cute. I really like this one. I feel like it's kind of similar to Puff and Beam from Glossier, but it's also a little bit more corally. Still different. I'll justify it. I like this one. This next one is called Under Pressure. This is like a very warm coral. It's very cute. Actually, this one's quite similar to Beam, just a different kind of formula. I feel like this one's a little more thick of a consistency and gives you a little bit more coverage, whereas the other one shears out a bit, but it's a very similar color. And last is Mini Me. This has been one of my favorites forever. It's just a really pretty pink. I feel like it's a nice neutral pink. It's not too cool, not too warm. I've reached for this one 100 times. It's so cute. And these 3 I'm gonna pass along simply just because they're not my favorite ones. I don't dislike them per se, I just don't reach for them very often. They're not my perfect color. This one's in the shade Cool It. This one almost made the cut, but I just don't feel like I need this one compared to other things that I have. I feel like it's just not a necessity anymore, so I'm going to pass this one along to a friend. Next is Wallaby. I'm pretty sure this was a subscriber gift, and I'm thankful that I got the chance to try it, but it's just not my personal favorite. I've used it a few times and it's pretty, but it's not often that I'm gonna reach for this kind of more metallic, plummy-esque cheek color. It's cute. I got my fun with it, but I don't think I want to keep this one around anymore. And last is Pretty Thing, which I think might have also been a subscriber gift. Maybe I got this one myself, I'm not sure. It's a really pretty deeper berry color. I just don't reach for this one as well very much when I'm playing with creams. I feel like if I want this color on my cheeks, I'm more apt to reach for a powder than this one. Again, I don't hate it, I just don't love it enough to keep it, so passing that along. I was actually able to declutter 6 of those, so now I only have 9 cream blushes. Again, excessive, but that's better. Let me just clean my hand off now, and then we'll move on to powders. I want to make sure I have plenty of room to swatch all 30 of these, goodness gracious. Okay, 30. I'm hoping maybe we can get rid of 10, get rid of a third of them. That would be like peak awesomeness. Just not sure if that'll happen. We'll see. Let me start with these 2 because I know I'm keeping them. These are the Kaleidos Lo-Fi Blusher Duos, Duo Blushers, whatever. I'm saying it backwards. This is Lo-Fi Peach and Lo-Fi Rose. These are discontinued. I think they are redoing the formula or the packaging or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. This is Lo-Fi Rose. I do have some duos in this video because I don't feel like duos would have fit the palette video as much. This is the rose one. It's really pretty. I like reaching for this one when I'm playing with more mauve toned eyeshadows. These aren't going to swatch the best because blush doesn't always swatch great, but just so you can get an idea of the color. And this is the Lo-Fi Peach one. It's my personal favorite. I don't reach for the highlighty shades in these too much. They're a little too deep for me, but sometimes I will swirl the 2 together to make kind of a metallic-y, shimmery kind of blush situation. It's kind of where I'm at, but I'm keeping these. I love them. Next, I have 3 of the e.l.f. bite-sized face duos. I'm going to keep 1 and declutter the other 2. This is the one I'm keeping. It's called Spiced Apple. I think it's so pretty. I'm not going to swatch the highlighty shade because I don't personally use the highlighty shades in the palette. I'm already making such a mess. It's just such a warm terracotta kind of situation. It's really pretty. I know these swatches aren't going to be perfect, just so you can get a rough idea of what the color looks like, but I'm keeping that one and I'm going to declutter the other two. We have pomegranate and cantaloupe. This one here is pomegranate and this one here is cantaloupe. They're not bad blushes, they're just not my perfect blush color for myself, what I really reach for, so I'm going to pass those ones along to a friend. This next one, this is the Melt Genesis Digital Dust Highlight. It is technically a highlight, but I bought this for the purpose of using it as a blush, and it is so pretty. It's the prettiest, like, peachy golden situation. Look at that. My gosh, is it beautiful? I would not mind having more of these darker highlights to use as a blush. It's so pretty. One of my absolute favorite blushes in my whole collection. Oh, I love it so much. I could stare at that one all day. Let's go over two that I'm going to declutter next. This is the Becca Songbird blush. This is one of the mini ones. This one has survived my last few years of declutters, and I always tell myself I'm going to reach for this one more, and I'll go through a tiny spurt where I wear it frequently, but then I just don't touch it again for like a year. And I just feel like I don't need this one anymore. I have other blushes I like. It's so pretty and I feel like it's so pigmented and saturated, but out of all the blushes I have here, this is one I'm not reaching for. I never reach for it. It's very rare, so I need to just go ahead and pass it along even though it's a pretty color. Next is this NYX one in the shade Double Dare. This was my favorite blush a few years ago, and I don't even feel like I've worn it the past year, except for maybe once. It's a really cool, vibrant, corally orange color. It's super pretty, and again, I like this blush in theory, but I literally have not reached for it in the last year, so I need to just go ahead and pass this one along to a friend. Let's talk about my little Natasha Denona blushes. This first one is the Blush and Glow Duo. This one has like a highlight and a blush. I don't reach for the highlight too often because it's very subtle. I am going to declutter this product. I've gotten quite a bit of use out of it. Like, there's a good chunk of like edges shown on that blush right there. It's just not my favorite blush anymore. It's not my perfect color. It's a little too subtle and subdued for my preference, so I'm going to pass this one along. I've had it a very long time. Might even throw that one away because I've had it for so long. And this next one is the Mini Bloom blush. This was actually a subscriber gift a few months ago, and I'm so appreciative. I love this blush. It's not going away anytime soon. It's so pretty. It's so just like warm, corally. It has that nice sheen to it. I feel like this one has more pigment than that other one that I just showed you. So pretty, and I'm very excited to keep that one. Alright, two more that I'm going to declutter. This is the Urban Decay Afterglow blush in the shade Kinky. Again, this one's a pretty blush. It's just not one that I find myself reaching for very often. It's a very subtle, just kind of pale neutral shade. It's nice if you want a subtle kind of glowy situation, but I'm just so into pigmented blush that this just isn't satisfying my needs anymore. So I'm going to pass this one along to a friend. Fairly certain that one and this next one were subscriber gifts, and again, I'm so thankful. Got my use out of it. I'm going to pass them along to someone who it might suit better. And this one is the Essence Mosaic blush in the shade Berry Connection. Again, this one's very cute. I just don't feel like it suits my needs anymore. It's a little too cool tone for me, and also not quite as bam as I would prefer. Let me try to build that swatch up a little bit more. That was very bad. It's just a little too subtle, a little too cool tone, so I'm going to pass it along to a friend who might enjoy it more than me. Okay, all we have left are Odin's Eye blushes and Colourpop blushes. Ooh, let's do the Odin's Eye ones first because there's only 6 of those and there's like a million Colourpop ones. I'm going to be ridiculous and keep all 6 of these Odin's Eye ones because I truly love all of them so much. I reach for all of them, I interchange all of them, I think they're all beautiful and I just love them. Let's go over the 3 fruit blushers first. I always get tongue twisted with these. The fruit blushers are matte and the flower blushers have sparkle in them. This first fruit one is Apricot Girl, actually one of my favorite blushes from them in general. I'm gonna change my swatching up a little bit here. There's Apricot Girl. I find their blushes to be so pigmented, but they also just blend out like a dream. They're beautiful to work with. I do have a discount code with Odin's Eye, by the way. It's BeautBean in all caps if you want to save 10%. It is an affiliate code. I will make a commission if you use it, and I appreciate it very much, but don't feel pressured. This next one is called Sweet Peach. This was one I didn't expect to really enjoy, but I actually love it a lot. I feel like especially when I'm playing with mauve toned looks, it's just so flattering and so cute. Next is Ripe Papaya. I love this one in the springtime. It's just so corally and fun and bright. It's so cute. Now moving on to the flower blushes. These ones again have like a sheen to them. This one is called Sweet Tulip. This one's kind of like a warm, kind of kind of mauve-y color. It's really pretty as well. I like this one. It's cute. I like them all. That's why I'm keeping them. Next is Water Lily. This one's very fun. It's so warm and just rusty, and it's so pretty. I think it's so flattering. So cute. And this last one's Little Jasmine, also one of my favorites from them. This one might be my #1 favorite over that Apricot Girl. It's what I'm wearing on my cheeks today. I just think it's so pretty. I love this very just warm terracotta kind of color. I think it's so pretty. Oh, I love these blushes. Excuse me, sir. I'm filming, thank you. Let's do ColourPop now. I have a lot of ColourPop. I have 12 ColourPop blushes. That's a lot. Let's do these super shock cheek ones first. I have 4 of these. I'm only gonna keep 2 of them. This first one's in the shade Count Me In. I have quite a dent in here. I just haven't felt like I've reached for it in a very long time, so I'm going to pass this one along. It's also a little too subtle for my preference, but it's really cute. I just don't think it's for me anymore. Next are the 3 gumdrop ones from the ColourPop Land collection. This is the one I'm getting rid of. This is the Gumdrop Pass one. It's just a little too purpley for me, and I don't love this one. It's not my perfect one, so I'm gonna pass this one along as well. These ones in particular are very glowy. They're very much like a highlighty blush type thing. If you had very deep skin, it could even make a really pretty highlight on you. These also smell like candy, and it's so pleasant. This one is called Jolly. I think I'm keeping this one. I have to decide though once I see it again. This one's Jolly. It's just a bit warmer, has a little more pigment to it. And this one's Gummy More. I'm definitely keeping Jolly. I'm unsure about Gummy More. Let me just compare really quick. Yeah, I feel like Gummy More might be a little too sheeny for me as well. It doesn't pack quite enough punch. So I think I'm gonna declutter Gummy More and keep the other one, Jolly. The other 2 aren't bad. They're just not completely up my alley as far as color goes. They perform fine. It's just not my perfect shade. Let's go over these 2 from the Making Mauves collection. I'm probably keeping both of these because I fell in love with them. We have Coast to Coast here, more of a cool toned, but not like overly frosty cool tone mauve one. And then we have Catch My Vibe, which is more pinky. All right, here's Coast to Coast. And this one is Catch My Vibe. They're both right there. They're definitely softer blushes. I wouldn't say they're sheer by any means, but they're not the most pigmented blushes in my collection, but they're still really cute. I like reaching for these with, again, kind of those softer mauvier looks, or even just like a soft neutral look in general. I don't know. I just really like these blushes. It surprised me how much I liked them, and I have a hard time justifying getting rid of them, so keeping these 2. Next are the 2 blushes from the Sailor Moon collection. This one is called Cat's Eye. It's pink with lots of shimmer in it. I love the little Luna imprint. It's so cute. I'm not even a Sailor Moon person. I never really watched it growing up, but it's super cute. We have just a nice bright pink. It has some shimmer in it. I do want to keep this one. However, I think I'm going to pass this one along to a friend from the Moon. I know Morgan would really want this because I think she's a big Sailor Moon fan. It's just a little too bright of a pink for me. It's a little on the cool tone side, not my perfect color on my skin or just for preference, so I'm gonna pass that one along. I think I'm doing pretty okay with the decluttering. I'm proud of myself. This is from the Coast to Coral collection. This is the Shook to the Coral blush. Looks like this, just kind of a coral. I don't know how else to really describe it. I'm gonna switch to the hand now. I feel like this one's really pretty, but I feel like I don't need this one. I have other coral blushes in my collection. Like I have some of these Odin's Eye ones that I would probably reach for over this one. I have literally 0 problems with it. I think it's a fantastic blush. I just personally don't need this one anymore. This got sent to me maybe a month ago. I also felt like it was out of season to get sent to me, but that's a different topic. It probably got delayed because of the pandemic, but I just don't need this one. So I'm gonna pass that one along. I actually didn't expect to declutter that one, so that's surprising. And next are my 3 blushes from the Wild Nothing collection, and then we will be finishing up. The one that I'm 1000% keeping is Crossroads. It's one of my favorite blushes in my whole collection. It's just such a pretty neutral terracotta color. Ah, so up my alley. This one does have some shimmer in it. I just think it's so pretty. When I want more of just a warm neutral blush, this is always what I want. It's so cute, and I'm gonna keep it. I might declutter the other 2 actually. This one's On the Horizon. Again, I have no problems with any of these blushes. I just feel like because I have so many, I don't need to keep these 2. This one's On the Horizon. It's just kind of that shimmery pink that I've seen quite a few times. There's quite a few on my arm that are very similar, so I don't need that one. I'll pass it along to a friend who will use it more than me. And this one's called Wayfarer. There's a bit of a chunk coming out of it. I probably dropped it or something. It's just kind of a light apricot-y kind of color. I feel like a similar reason to that e.l.f. Cantaloupe one, wherever I put that over here, it's just a little too light for me. And even though I'm extremely pale, like I'm very fair, it's just a little too light for me. I feel like maybe if you're someone who's very fair and likes a very light cantaloupe-y kind of blush, you'd really like this. Again, formula-wise, it's perfectly fine. It's just not perfectly for me. I decluttered 14 powder blushes. That's crazy. I didn't expect that. I only have 16 now. I decluttered like half of them. That's pretty impressive. Still more than the average person needs, but I do YouTube. I do just enjoy having a variety of makeup. I love having a variety of formulas and colors and things like that. So with that being said, I started out with 45 blushes overall. We got rid of 20 of them, so now I only have 25 total. That's pretty good. I didn't expect to do that good. I decluttered almost half of them, and I'm pleased with that. I feel like I've really got it curated down now to my absolute favorites. I'm passing along some ones that are still very good. I don't dislike really any of the ones I'm decluttering, just kind of a matter of a change of preferences, finding things that have replaced things, and I'm happy to give these to new homes to my friends. I have lots of friends that love going through my decluttered makeup. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Are you a blush fiend like me? What are your favorite blushes? Do you love any of the ones that I'm keeping? I would just love to hear all your thoughts. Tell me all about your blush. How many blushes do you have in your collection? I hope you're enjoying this series as well. I'm having a lot of fun filming it, and I'm just enjoying hanging out with you guys and chatting about my collection with you. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me a pink emoji because blush, you know? And if you liked it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, please hop over to my Instagram. It's BeatBee and follow me there. I post every single day, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm posting most days here as well. Please make sure you're staying informed with Black Lives Matter. There's a link in my description box that will take you to resources and ways in which you can help. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.